Okay, so as the clock continues to tick for Justin Simmons, his value has significantly dropped, as one former GM expects Philly to land the former All-Pro. Meanwhile, Quinyon Mitchell is working non-stop, just like Jalen Hurts, who's ready to have a bounce-back season. And just how good or bad is the Eagles' schedule? So let's talk about it. But first, let's run it. What's up, everybody? How we doing? Let's start with Jason Kelce officially accepting a role with ESPN to be part of their Monday Night Countdown pregame and halftime shows through 2027. After multiple media outlets pursued him and made him offers, the future Hall of Famer landed with the worldwide leader and will also be part of ABC's coverage of Super Bowl 61. Not really a huge surprise because I think we all knew this was just a matter of time. Plus, Jason just has to be around football. I mean, Kelce's literally been at the Eagles facility every day this offseason just to feel the camaraderie with the guys and get in the building. But it's fine. He's been losing weight, and understandably, this is the next short-term move for him. However, it still wouldn't surprise me if he ends up eventually getting back on the Eagles in some capacity. Like, after all, that's exactly what the scriptwriters would want. Except Jason kind of crashed their script writing session earlier this week.
Wrong room.
Oh,
What's up, How's it going?
Good. You're the surprise.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping I can get a surprise. What's going on with the schedule? We almost there?
You can't say we anymore.
Yeah, right? Maybe, we don't know. I mean, hey.
Oh, you're coming back?
I wish.
You said you were going to go to Brazil.
I want to. I really do.
You should go.
I went for the World Cup 2016 and absolutely loved it. So I would go back again. Absolutely.
All right, he's definitely slimmed up, which good for him. But did anyone notice that Kelce was repping Jalen Hurts' hoodie? All I'm saying is I love the support because QB1's going to take it to another level this season. And if you're believing LaShawn McCoy, then he's going to bounce back.
I expect him to bounce back. It's hard to not play up to his capabilities when you have that type of team. Good offensive line. You re-sign all your wide receivers. They're going to be there. And then you get a guy named Saquon Barkley. Sheesh. Right? Like, how do you just end up getting Saquon Barkley? So, asking all these things about will he bounce back? Yes, everything's in his favor. And then you add in a solid offensive coordinator, right? You don't have to worry about this off coordinator you're not really confident in quarterback. Yeah. I've been an elite guy, right? That everybody talks about. This is a year to show up.
Dang.
Because having one good year,
say that again.
I'm sorry, having one great elite year is not enough for me. And the stuff I seen in the Super Bowl run against the Chiefs, that's who Jalen Hurts is. I think he's healthy this year. I've been talking to all my people who's healthy. The chemistry's getting back solid like it used to be. I expect Jalen Hurts to be Jalen Hurts.
Exactly, and honestly, the biggest change and reason to be confident is Kellen Moore. Like, I know that I've said it, but he's going to be the complete difference maker. After sharing in his presser about blitz beaters and willingness to use motion and really just not being so dang predictable, which is why, despite some of the comments recently about Jalen and some guys like Emmanuel Acho taking a shot, I believe at worst he's top 5, but maybe even top 3 this season. Because not only does life get easier for him on the offense, but the Eagles' schedule sets up pretty well when you think about it. Now, I get it. Most of y'all, including myself, aren't really a fan of that Friday night Brazil game, especially one that requires us to use it as one of our home games this season. However, there's really only one way I see it turning out.
What's the first word that you think of when I show you this?
They're going to Brazil to get their first loss of the season.
What? I'm sorry. Yeah, my wife's a Packers fan, but still, I expect it to be a close game. I mean, it's -1.5 for the spread, but Philly's going to end up winning. Next on the schedule is the Atlanta Falcons, and despite the whole quarterback controversy or decision-making, there's just a few things we can count on in life, such as death, taxes, and Kirk Cousins coming to the Link for a primetime matchup during the Eagles' home opener. Atlanta's much improved, so I don't see it being like a 32-6 win like we did in 21. However, it's the home opener, like I said, Kirk Cousins in primetime. I mean, the guys are going to be up for that game, especially coming off of winning in Brazil, and it's also a little bit of a mini bye if you think about it. Look, I'm just confident in that one. Honestly, the bigger question might be what Joe Buck asked, since ESPN will be doing Monday Night Football that night.
We're going to go into Philly with Jason Kelce as a member of ESPN. Mm-hmm. Will we come out of Philly with Jason Kelce as a member of ESPN?
He's done. He's done. I mean, we've got to come to terms with it at this point. Sorry, I'm probably just trying to temper my expectations more than anyone else at this point. Now, week 3 features a trip to New Orleans for the first official road matchup, and always tough to play in the Big Easy, but again, I just think there's too much firepower and the Eagles come away with the win.
Who that? Who that?
Yeah.
Who do they think they are? Who that?
Do they not know who they're talking to?
That city's drunk.
What is drunk is 3 straight NFC South teams on the schedule, and then, following it up with a week 5 bye, but we'll get to that in a sec. I'm all for the rematch at Raymond James Stadium, literally the 3rd time in about a calendar year the fellas will have made the trip. And who doesn't want a rematch after the way last season ended? So give me Philly's revenge to improve to 4-0 before the bye. How are we doing so far? Any changes to the predictions that you'd have? Also, I get it, and I'm not really a fan of the bye early, especially with the mini bye from week 1 to week 2 that I already mentioned. However, at least Philly's schedule is backloaded with games that won't require the Birds to fly in any of the final 6. So So, at least in terms of a glass half full. But yeah, I would have preferred a later bye to have you a little bit more of a refresh and guys get healthy and everything else towards the later part of the season. Unfortunately, life's like that sometimes and you don't get what you want. However, maybe we can change the vibes and give away some tickets. Seriously, if you want to go to the Eagles game this season, all you got to do is hit that like button and then scroll on down to the comments section and enter Dallas Sucks, where I will pick one lucky winner via the randomized comment picker during my live stream on Friday, May 24th to win 2 tickets to any Eagles regular season game of your choosing. For real, you got about a week, so share with your friends or family or just some random dude off the street. Just make sure that he takes you to the game if he wins it. By the way, this is probably a given, but you do need to be subscribed in order to win, which shockingly, over 72% of y'all that watch the channel still aren't. And believe me, this ain't the last giveaway we'll be doing for subscribers by a long shot, so why not hit that sub button and who knows, maybe you'll end up getting free tickets to the link this season. Like maybe you want to see the Cleveland Stains on October 13th coming off the bye. That one ain't going to be a cakewalk, but I think the bye gives us an edge we need to get the victory. And then we follow that up on the road in New York.
Took Saquon. Bet you mad about that.
I really hope Saquon runs for like 200 yards and 3 scores in that one. Just to rub salt in the wound of Giants owner John Mara for not even offering Barkley a contract. Oh yeah, and to establish the fact that 26 is the new Giant killer.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy this and not join them!
If they had taken care of Saquon better, then maybe he would have stayed. Either way, like he told his daughter, he's going to start winning more. Anyway, this next one in Week 8 against Cincinnati is going to be tough, assuming the Bengals can protect Joe Burrow and he stays healthy. But if he does, I kind of think this ends up being our first loss with the Eagles being 3-point underdogs on the road. Not going to lie, I'm really considering going to this game in Cincy. I've never been, but shout out to my guy Donovan. Why not take advantage of an opportunity to see the NFL's highest paid player in Joe Burrow? It's just the last time I was traveling to a new city, I lost my wallet. Yet thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Exter, that shouldn't be a problem anymore. And if I'd switched sooner, then it wouldn't have been an issue to begin with. Because Exter offers a tracker card that works with the My Find app on the iPhone so that things like that don't happen. Seriously, this tracker card is literally the size of a credit card and it goes in your wallet like this, and honestly, it's the best thing ever because you can track it, it gives you alerts, and also you can ping it up to 300 feet away. Plus, the battery life is also insane, lasting up to 6 months before needing a charge. Now, I went with the Parliament wallet because I love the leather feel, and it also allows for a lot of credit cards in there. Plus, it's really not like these other bulky wallets that I've had. I don't need these anymore, and it's very easy to get credit cards out with the click of a button. Come on, it is more than time to upgrade because you can't be too secure, which is why every option blocks RFID to keep scammers out of your wallet. Plus, with Father's Day right around the corner, this might be the perfect option for you guys to consider. Since right now, Extra's offering 40% off, but if you use my code PhillySpecial, you can get an extra 5% off. So head over to partner.extra.com/thePhillySpecialShow and use my code PhillySpecial, or just click the link in the description to get started. All right, so we're 6-1 at this point, and facing a Sunday night football matchup against Dougie P and the Jags in Philly. I think we rebound to improve to 7-1 before traveling to Dallas in Week 10.
Oh, it just makes me nauseous.
Why don't you hold on to that for a second? Nope. Can we do a little word association? Dallas.
Blows.
Cowboys.
Ass.
Victory.
Birds.
Look, I hope so, and I really want to say yes. It's just that we can't seem to really put anything together at AT&T Stadium, so even though I hate it, I'm going to cautiously give us the L in Dallas.
What did you say?
I'm sorry, we will get them in Philly. And we'll also win against Washington despite the short week and playing on Thursday Night Football to improve to 8-2, followed by another primetime game in LA.
Santa, I think you're drunk.
I might also be drunk for saying this, but I kind of think that we're going to hit 2 losses in back-to-back weeks on the road against the Rams and the Ravens. I know, maybe that's crazy and it makes us 8-4, but just like I said, primetime games, a trip across country, and Baltimore being Baltimore just makes me think we lose 2 in a row. Now, the good news is that I ultimately see that as a positive to regroup and make a strong playoff push by starting out beating Carolina, and then taking it to Justin Fields and the Steelers for Fields' actions towards Nick Foles. We remember, bro, and you don't talk to BDN that way. Anyway, the next opponent is Washington on December 22nd for our last 1 o'clock game of the season, and I think we make quick work of the commies before taking on Dallas in Week 17.
Why does Dallas suck?
Well, I'd have to answer a question with a question. Why do they think they don't suck?
The burden of proof is on them.
Yeah, you know it, I know it, everyone knows it, but sure, let them come to the link and try to prove the doubters wrong. Except, well, we know how that one's going to end. Just maybe let's not have quite the same nail-biter that we did last year. And then, sitting at 12-4, I think the Birds finish off the G-Men at home to improve to 13-4 and clinch home field advantage in the NFC. Yes, I realize this is a little bit more optimistic than some of the live streams that I've done, but seriously, after looking at the schedule, I think that's realistically possible. And let's be honest, it'd also be nice to see Philly finish the season the exact opposite of how we did last year. So there you go. I'm going to go with a prediction of 13-4 along with a little bit of a stumble in the middle part of the way, but what do you guys think? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? And which losses do we actually take? Now, sure, I get it if there's there's some uncertainty, but with the offensive weapons, they should be able to carry the team at least early on. And then the goal is that the defense eventually steps up, like rookie Quinyon Mitchell, who's been all business, saying he hasn't taken in much of Philly because he's been busy working at the facility, which how can you not love that? This dude just has a chip on his shoulder, and you know he hears all the people saying the Birds should have taken Terrion Arnold. Of course, the Eagles still haven't signed Mitchell to a contract or Dejean, but just rest assured, I know I've seen some people freaking out or worried about it, but this has happened multiple years. I mean, think about Keeler Ringo, think about Cam Jurgens, they will eventually get signed. However, 2 rookies did sign recently, in linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and also center Dylan McMahon agreeing to terms. Again, Dejean and Mitchell are going to be staples, so we're perfectly fine, and the Eagles do have plans for them. Also, speaking of that defense, it was really cool to get a sneak peek into Brett Coleman's video coming soon to break down Fangio's scheme and system.
Now here's where Fangio's a little different. Because this guy kind of chips and goes out, he may say, hey, because of the scouting report, I think Kelce's here at the bottom. So if this guy's a 3 and he tries to chip, he's going to go out late. So stay in your vertical curl, and this guy can buy him out to the flat. Because the only reason you have the corner come off fast is because you're out leveraged, right? And we'll see a clip of this in a little bit where somebody goes out real fast. But if he's going to come up, and Vic does this a lot, and we kind of talked about this in Cover 9, where he's going to do different things based on releases.
I can't help it, but I'm confident in the guys playing with a new level of confidence in the defense. Although seeing that you've really only got 3 for sure safeties on the roster in C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship, and Sidney Brown, Reuben Frank brought up the question about another addition there, as former NFL GM Randy Mueller still argues Justin Simmons is in play and the delay in finding a contract could be good news for the Birds, saying the Eagles make sense as the top landing spot, and that it's likely Simmons signs with Philly, because it'd allow him to call the shots while being able to take a short-term deal to reestablish his market for 2025. Now look, I know we've talked about Simmons a ton at this point, however, it's starting to sound like that Simmons could be a little bit of a bargain after an NFL agent said he believes 1 to 2 years is the max he expects for the All-Pro safety, and that the best guess is that Simmons comes in slightly above the veteran minimum worth $1.2 million. Okay, I think we'd all sign up for Simmons at that number. I mean, heck, I would do it for double or triple or even quadruple that number. Because Simmons not only gives you depth, well, I mean, I guess he's really going to come in and start, but it's different than an acquisition like Kevin Byard was. Yes, I know, and I've said it many times that Howie did mention the defense was getting younger, but this would be one of those exceptions that's totally worth it. Anyway, curious about y'all's thoughts given the recent developments, or is there a better route to take? All right, do me a favor and hit that like button and make sure to get in on the giveaway. Go Birds. This has been the Philly Special.